What's going on, everyone? I'm TDubsKid, and in this video I'm going to show you how to maintain the air filter on the TW200. So this is the kind of maintenance you want to do on a regular basis to keep your engine lasting a long time. Okay, so the manual recommends you do this every 3,000 miles or 6 months, and it's also going to depend on how you ride the bike. Like if you ride in a lot of like dirty, dusty, wet conditions, then you're going to want to probably do it even more often. But it's a super easy thing to do, and it's definitely something you shouldn't overlook. Okay, so the only tool you're going to need is a big Phillips screwdriver, because if you use like a smaller screwdriver, you might end up like stripping it out. Then you're going to need a roll of paper towels, and then it's nice to have like a clean surface, and I just use this blue mat to put it on. It just helps keep it clean and keep all the lubricant and stuff off the floor. And then I just use some like rubber gloves, and that's just because I'm a mechanic and I do this sort of thing every day, and that's just to help prevent, you know, like cancer and stuff like 30 years from now or whatever. Okay, so there's all kinds of chemicals and stuff you can use to actually clean and lubricate the filter, but I just use this PJ1 spray air filter cleaner and the foam filter oil treatment, and this just makes it a little more convenient, and also the treatment is like really tacky, so it kind of helps grab the dirt and dust and keep it from going into your engine. Start out by taking the 2 top screws out. Next, you just rotate this plastic piece downwards, and it pops right off. Okay, so if your airbox cover is really dirty, you might just want to take a damp paper towel, just clean off all the dirt, just to keep it from kind of falling in there. Less dirt, the better. And once it's somewhat clean, I just take the 4 screws out. Then just remove the cover. And before I get to the filter, I'm just gonna clean the edges and the inside off with another clean damp paper towel. Just get all the dirt out of here. Okay, so here's the air filter and the cover. This should be the clean side of the air filter. If this part was dirty, I'd be quite concerned, because if you flip it over, it's freaking filthy, which is good because that means it's filtering all that junk out of there. I'm honestly probably a little past due of when I should have cleaned it. Also, I would just kind of like inspect it, make sure it's not torn or ripped or anything, because if it is, I would just buy a new one. And then the cover also has this part on it, which is basically the frame for the filter. Now just take the cleaner, shake it up a bit, and spray it all over the filter. Get all the sides. I would completely saturate the filter until it starts to drip, and you're gonna let that sit on there for 15 minutes. You could probably also spray like a little bit on the frame and the cover. You probably don't need a whole lot though. Just let that soak in. Okay, so after all that solvent had enough time to soak in, I'm just gonna grab it all and bring it to a sink. We have this like really old sink in the basement for doing this kind of like dirty stuff. Definitely don't recommend doing this like in your kitchen sink or something. Go ahead and turn like the hot water on so it get nice and warm. And then you're gonna rinse it off, but start with the water going on to the clean side. That way all the dirt will kind of like fall out of the dirty side, and you won't get it on the clean side. Look at all that nasty stuff coming out of there. Also, with the foam air filters, you can kind of squeeze them, but don't like wring them and like roll it up and like twist it really hard, because you can like rip it and stuff. Get all the sides. And if it's really dirty, you can always, you know, spray a little bit more solvent on there. Just make sure you get everything. Kind of work it in. Alright, once you know it's nice and clean, just squeeze all the water out. Just don't wring it and twist it. You can just push on it. Probably fold it in half and push on it too. Just don't wring it. Alright, and then you can just grab a clean paper towel. Just lay it on there. Put it off to the side. Then you just gotta clean the frame and the cover. Should be a lot easier. Look at all that dirt. And you can like clean in like the seal area. Just get all the dirt out of this thing. Alright, we're all done down here. Okay, so next you're gonna want the air filter to dry out completely. You could just leave it overnight and it should be dry in the morning. You could also put it in the sun outside, but right now it's kind of windy. I don't want like dirt flying on it or the filter itself flying off, so. Or you could just use a bunch of paper towels and just like squash all the most all the water out. That might work too. You could use compressed air, or you could probably use a blow dryer if you really wanted to. If you needed to go riding. Just whatever you do, don't use a heat gun or you'll just melt it. Then I would just take a couple paper towels and just dry the frame and the cover off. Just make sure you got all the dirt off of them. Okay, so now the filter's all dry. Blow drying actually works really well if you're in a hurry. So next I'll take some of the treatment, shake it up a little bit, spray a little bit around the edge of the frame. This is just where it seals on. And then you put the frame on the cover. There's these little plastic dowels. And the frame can only go on one way, but just make sure all the dowels are pushed through. And then I'm just gonna spray the air filter. The more the merrier. Definitely want lots of this stuff on there. Put it on both sides. And you can put it around the edges as well. Just make sure there's lots in there. You can kind of work it in, get any spots you missed. Be kind of like an even color all the way around. That looks pretty good. So, and then you just put it on top of the frame. And make sure this little cutout, this little half circle, lines up with the half circle on the frame. You'll pretty much know if you get it in there wrong. And make sure all the little tabs are alongside it. And now we just gotta throw it back on. Just make sure it's not getting messed up at all. It's gonna have like some resistance going back in because it pinches the filter like all the way around. That's what creates the seal. And it's just the 4 screws. Make them nice and snug, but don't over tighten them. Else you have to buy a whole new air box. And then you just put the cover on. This little dowel pin goes in a lot easier if it's like down at this angle. It just pushes in and then it like rotates upwards, which kind of locks that in. Which is a pretty cool idea. And you just throw these screws on. Well guys, that's it. I'm ready to do some more riding. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you want to see more TW200 how-to videos in the future, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and I will see you guys later. Peace out.